I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on, true believers? I hope you're having a great morning. My name is Bleeds. We're here to talk about this crazy crypto world, and the state of the market is still cooking. We are in altcoin season. Now, there's some indicators out there that say that we are about 10 days into altcoin season, and altcoin season that the last time happened took 42 days. So we have a limited amount of time. The markets are starting to move. We haven't seen the parabolic moment yet, but altcoin phase is starting to cook. So make sure you hit the like button on the way in. I'll break this down for you. And hopefully at the end of this, we'll all know a lot more than we did right now. So to kick this off, the markets are having a pretty good day. Bitcoin up just a little bit. All altcoins up even more. Ethereum touching 3,200 just a little while ago, looking like it really wants to move. This is the first time we've seen a prolonged uptrend on Ethereum in a little bit. It's been about a year since we've seen that. We've seen a lot of consolidation, a lot of dumping, and now we're seeing the reversal. So the next reversal, I'm going to show you on the Ethereum chart exactly where that plugs in too, because when you look at it and you see it, then I think you're going to agree, like, this is clearly an uptrend. This has happened before, and we are going so much higher. In the top 200, again, a lot of movement going on, nothing really explosive happening. We've got Melania up 31%, Osaka. I don't know if Melania filed divorce or something. I don't know why it's going up 31%, but Trump actually having a pretty nice pump, by the way. So it could just be the fact that it's a Trump-themed meme coin that's causing it to pump. That might be the case. I don't know. Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, whatever it's called, is up 30% as well. VVV having a little bit of a run, but again, we're getting little pumps here and there. We're not getting any of those breakouts, just absolute banger. There it is. We've got one, Ani, up 200% today. Wouldn't you like to get just a nice little 200%, blocky to 47 million? Doesn't that sound right? Doesn't that sound like a good move right there? And by the way, this is Annie Grok Companion, which is, oh my God, I can't believe, holy sh. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? It's crypto. It's crypto, bro. All right. So Fear and Greed Index still cooking. We're still at 70. We're still in that zone right now. And it looks like there's more quote unquote meat on the bone. It looks like we're having a liquidity rotation right now. And this could be the start of a massive move. Yesterday, we had an uptick in exchange reserves. Guess what? Starting to go back down. So, maybe this was just somebody moving it onto chain and now they're pulling it back off chain. Great sign to see. Also, here is the altcoin season index. We're going to do that a little bit more now. That gives us a 39, which means that we are in the throes of the start, again, of a big potential altcoin season. Now it looks like it's starting to move up. And, last time it happened was at the end of last year. This was, what was the date here when we cooked up? December 4th was the high over there. We get back to that range. We're going to go back and look at the charts, and it didn't have a blow off like we thought, but it was going pretty good. And we've got liquidity in the markets continuing to rise around the world. So I think that we're in the cut right now of a massive, massive altcoin move finally. Also, looking at the market, clearly the market is in the green, starting to feel it right now. Ethereum has wiped out those losses. Remember, at one point we were down about 40%, I want to say, on the year. And now that big reversals come in. Dogecoin down 36% on the year, but Dogecoin's trading at 20 cents right now, ranging just kind of in that spot. We've looked at all these things. Hyperliquid up 100% on the year. So we've got massive gains that have been happening, and now it's time for that capital rotation and big moves to start coming in. Leading that off, the Genius Act passed by the Senate is going to be voted on in the House this week. Last night, the procedural portion of the vote got voted down. So what then happened? Donald Trump ordered the congressmen who were going to vote no and who voted no to come into his office and discuss it. And 11 of the 12 agreed to come in. And after a short discussion, they have all agreed to vote tomorrow morning in favor of the rule. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, was at the meeting via telephone and looks forward to taking the vote as early as possible. So we should see the Genius Act clear Congress today, go to the president's desk, and it will become a law. And we will have a stablecoin regulation. And that is, my friends, the beginning of the quote unquote salvation of the U.S. economy if you're not clear about what's going on. And the reason this is so important and the reason that this is a massive, massive move. The biggest holders of U.S. treasuries now have become stablecoins. USDT is the 5th largest holder of U.S. treasuries. And what are we trying to do? We're trying to get treasuries away from foreign influence. We don't want China investing in our treasuries. We don't want Japan. We want our own country reaping the rewards. And guess what? As these companies that are in the United States, like Circle, continue to buy U.S. treasuries, it strengthens the U.S. dollar. And it creates a situation for BRICS. BRICS is the breakaway that doesn't want to use the U.S. dollar for the world standard currency. And guess what? With the U.S. adopting stablecoins and U.S. pushing stablecoins, it is now primed to retake that position or maintain that position and put some distance between the BRICS unit and everybody else. This is a huge moment for the United States. Now, again, as these, and banks, by the way, banks are going to issue their own stable coins. There's going to be other stable coins that are issued along the way. Almost every bank will probably have its own monetary system or buy into some sort of monetary system, but probably a system that's open at this point. So anybody who has a CBDC type, you're not going to last very long because the anti-CBDC legislation could be coming along with that. Now, that is about government control. And if the government cedes that level of control, then you're going to have the world is about to fundamentally change. Like, this is the start of everything that you guys have been waiting for. This is the start right here. So if this passes, then look to see a huge, and the rock means huge capital inflow into these markets. It will go into stable coins, by the way. But that once you've brought people in, guess what? It's only a matter of time before their investments become Bitcoin investments, before they see the truth of their dollar versus Bitcoin. When they see that, when the change hits them, then they're going to know, then they're going to ape, then the price is going to explode. And then everybody is going to make it. It's going to keep going and going and growing and growing. Not so much so that there was a prediction just recently, and this analyst predicted, I'm going to skip forward to this, that he says that Bitcoin is now poised to beat gold's market cap. Now, I had to look it up to find out what the gold market cap is. $22.429 trillion is what the gold market cap is. All right. This analyst predicting this says that he thinks that in in the next 5 to 10 years or sooner. Now, I don't think that that's the case, but I think that eventually that will be the case. As a matter of fact, I can see a situation in which Bitcoin is backed by gold and gold is backed by Bitcoin, and that somebody comes up, steps forward, and not merges the two, but backs one another with Bitcoin and gold. Like I sense that we're on this path. And with that being the case, I do think that some of the capital that's in gold Bitcoin is going to end up being a safer haven, because when it's gold, by the way, there's, in case you don't understand, there's a lot of gold. Okay. There is a lot of unmined gold. All right. We're not running out of gold. Okay. We're not running out of gold. Demand is just increasing for gold, for people to hold it as a hedge against inflation. All right. Bitcoin is a better hedge against inflation at this point. The difference here is you can't store, 100 pounds of gold around your house. That's ridiculous. You have to rely on third parties. With Bitcoin, you have no third party. All you need is a wallet, and you own that wallet. So the shared concept here is the internet. Basically, you have to have electricity and internet connection. That's the limits right now. But again, what do you need in order to take your gold with you? Think about it for just a moment. Okay. Now, while this is happening, while this fight is going on, the next step is, how do you buy it? And you buy it currently with fiat currency, which is your cash. And guess what? The governments continue to print more and print more and print more. And what is the end result of continuing and continuing and continuing to print? The debasement of your currency. So Bitcoin, by virtue of its limited supply, its slowed mining process, its continued halving of new supply entering the mainstream, and the store of value that it has now become, and maturedly seen as an investment vehicle, has turned it into something that's going to hit like a freight train. So this is not your last chance. Every day is going to be your last chance, okay, for a while. If you buy the top of Bitcoin today at, let's just say the market is done, okay? Let's just say that 123 is all we had. If you sold today, probably buy it back at 70 or 60,000 or something like that. But I don't think we're done yet. No indicators say that we're done. So let's just say you bought at 170,000, and let's just say that that's the top. That's the Fibonacci top, or golden rate ratio. At 175,000-ish, if that's the top, and you buy it right there, will it dip and come back down? Of course it will. Of course people will sell and take profit. Of course. But here's what's going to happen. Even if you bought it at that level, if you were willing to hold it for 10 years, like we're talking about right here, it's going to go so much higher on that next turnaround. Now, I've analyzed gold, because we were talking about it, and the Bitcoin chart, and I put them together so that you can see what I see when I see how gold is. And by the way, when I say this is a maturation process for gold in a bull run for gold, and I've matched up their charts. And you know what? I'm going to show it to you now. I can't even stop myself. So this purple right here, this actually represents, all right, what I'm showing you right there is the same thing as what I put on this chart right over here. This is when gold broke out. Now, I'm looking for the pattern that fit my thesis, okay? I'm looking for the pattern that fit my thesis on gold. But once I saw it, then I wanted to apply it towards Bitcoin to see if there was some symmetry to it. And guess what? It is telling me, by the way, if I were to start removing everything and I start to zoom in just a little bit so that you can see it a little better, look at this. It is doing exactly what gold did at that same time. It is matching it almost exclusively. Now, I didn't get, you kind of have to move these things around just a little bit to kind of, like, you grab the end of it here and you find the top, find the bottom, you got to kind of squeeze it around just to get it exactly perfect. But when you do, right there, look at how much it's matching up, right? So, and that's not because of gold. That's because of adoption of gold. Okay. That's because people are now seeing it and now it's growing. So according to the gold blow off top, Bitcoin would be about 204,000. I gave you 5 Bitcoin to be a millionaire right here. And gold, the historic movement of, and by the way, this is voodoo science. It's not science at all, by the way. This is voodoo, all right? But according to gold's move, Bitcoin is destined to hit 200,000 if it follows the same trend. And it should be noted, Bitcoin is digital gold. So there you have it, guys. Like again, this is voodoo science. This is not real. And I'm not predicting. I mean, I guess I am, because I'm telling you that anywhere between 173,000 and 200,000 is where Bitcoin's going to go. But I mean, I think the writing's on the wall. So let's move on. Miles Dutcher, friend of the channel. The November 2024 altcoin pump was only 42 days, but in this window, there were many 10 to 20x opportunities. One key alt season indicator suggests we're 10 days into the next big move. This is what I think happens next for altcoins. And then he made a video on it, and he's talking about what's going to happen. So if you are interested, certainly go check that out. Don't leave this channel to go to that channel, though. I mean, gross. But if you're interested, certainly go check that out. Also, Cantor Fitzgerald is partnering with Adam Back on a $4 billion deal to buy Bitcoin, which means that Cantor Fitzgerald, one of the big money players, one of the traditional big time finance places, is now going all in on crypto, specifically Bitcoin, but it's going to expand as they continue to grow. This is a major move. This is huge amounts of capital continuing to enter crypto. And again, it doesn't matter, by the way, it doesn't matter if Cantor Fitzgerald ever buys one single Ethereum. Okay. It doesn't matter if Cantor Fitzgerald ever buys one single Solana. If Cantor Fitzgerald puts $4 billion into Bitcoin, Bitcoin go up. Bitcoin price goes up. People who are willing to invest in altcoins, they're going to take their profit because Cantor Fitzgerald is pumping the bag ultimately. That's the way this works, guys. As Bitcoin rises, people take profit, they move it into altcoins. We're in that major altcoin move right now. I'll show you that in just a second on the chart. But I think it's getting ready to happen. Like, I think we're right here. And look, let's hope that things like DevE, let's hope that some of our meme coins like Blocky, let's hope that CC Coin, let's hope that some of these capture the public eye, get a little bit of attention as retail starts to enter the arena. And if that happens, then we're going to have a massive, massive, massive move. Now, when you type in Bitcoin into the news, okay, when you type in Bitcoin into the news, here's what you want to see. You want to see mainstream coverage. You don't want to see like Bitcoinist, crypto, coin telegraph, stuff like that. That's niche market, right? What you want to see is mainstream coverage, right? Well, guess what? ABC News, why is the price of Bitcoin hitting a record high? Expert explains. Here it is. This is mass adoption. This is the signal to retail to, you better get you some right now. You better start finding the money. Okay. So ABC News is covering. The New York Times is covering. Reuters is covering the move to an all-time high. Bloomberg is, look, I think Bloomberg does a lot of Bitcoin coverage, so I think they're very positive for it. So I don't think that that's a big one. But again, Forbes, not as big a deal, but NBC, boom. CNBC, boom. Barron's is an investment thing. Yahoo Finance is an investment thing. But as you start to go down, USA Today, Bitcoin surge isn't over yet. Like, these are big time. This is the main place. AP News, Bitcoin soars to new all-time high. The signal is being unleashed on the world that it's time to buy. Do you see what's happening right here? We don't see this all the time. We don't see this type of coverage. So I don't know. The only thing that I can tell you here is that we are on the cusp of what I think is going to be an absolute breakout. Also, if XRP ends the week at this level, it will hit a record high of $4.80. Now, this is coming from Ali Martinez. Ali Martinez is as right as he is wrong, just like me. So he says $4.80. I say $4.20. I think what you should do is combine those two heads right there and say, well, first of all, believes your head's way more handsome than Ali's. He looks like an Uggo. And to that, I say thank you so much for thinking that way. At least that's the way you think in my mind. The important part to that, though, is we both agree that we are headed at or near about $5 in another breakout on XRP, and that this move is probably coming very, very, very soon. So, shout out if you held this far. I had somebody yesterday in the comment section, I kid you not, tell me that XRP is not moving, only down. Like, dude, if you bought 6 months ago, it was at 50 cents. You're up 6x right now. What the are you talking about? And even when it dipped down to, I'm sorry, $2, you were up 4x. You turned 10 grand into 40 grand. Right now it's 60 grand. So how about shut up? Like, come on. Wall Street Journal is coming to the BNB chain where? Via Ondo Finance. So you are seeing some really interesting things over on the BNB chain. Now, this could explain why that volume is the way that it is, but we're not seeing a lot of new meme coins exploding out of nowhere on the BNB chain. That might explain where that volume is right there. Maybe it's in finance. Maybe we're just not seeing it. Maybe it's just some kind of rotation of capital onto the chain. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I do think that there's something wrong with what's going on right there with Binance being involved, but maybe, just maybe, something big is happening. But nonetheless, showing up with Ondo Finance is a great move for Ondo Finance to be associated with Wall Street. I mean, that's what we're hoping for with DevE, right? So to see it actually happening with Ondo is a really interesting development and situation, but it's one that we expected anyway, because we already knew that Ondo was in the big leagues already, that it's already had a significant pump, that it was already sitting at a massive market cap, that it's already had a really, really nice move. So, great things happening. Also, analyst says, we already did that one. Let's move on here. Now it's time for the charts. Woo, that was fast, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, by the way, for DevE, if you haven't, there is at 4 p.m. UTC, which is in 38 minutes. So in 38 minutes, if you're interested in what's going on with DevE, Austin is back from his vacation, and he is going to sit down with founder Tom Anderson, and he's going to break down what's coming next for DevE. And by the way, this is not an announcement sort of moment, I don't think. By the way, if you're here watching, I'm not using X anymore. I'll do it for posting, but I'm not simulcasting over there. So if you would hit the like button, please, that pushes me up in the algorithm on YouTube, and it allows me to connect with a few more people, especially people who have been looking. I've had people reaching out from X asking me, hey man, how come you're not broadcasting anymore? Because I watch you every day. And I see, by the way, that there used to be about 200 people watching almost every day, and on YouTube, it's far less. Okay, so this is basically a signal to them that that's where that's where I am. And by the way, I stopped my premium membership to X because my engagement, it doesn't change with whether I pay Elon $40 a month or not. So I just whatever, you know what I mean? There we go. Just in, we've got a 3,200 Ethereum. So Ethereum is starting to break out. There we go. Another big move for Ethereum. We've got some range right here. We want to see it break to 4,000. We want to see it break above this line right here, which is, 3,300, a little over 3,300. And I think that we are off to the races. So, also, by the way, Solana on the move too, and XRP, Bitcoin, not as much. Do you see where it's going? We're into altcoin season. We're starting to see that movement. Now, of course, that should frustrate you if you are looking at OM. Are they going to miss the mark? And I to be honest with you, I don't know. They're not friends of mine. I like a comeback story. By the way, speaking of comeback stories, today at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am releasing a video update on Ben Armstrong and exactly what I think is going to happen next. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to call this specifically. I think I know exactly what Ben's plan will be when he gets back, and I wanted to reveal it then. And if I'm right about it, pinch poke, you owe me a Coke. You know what I mean? But let's move back over here. So it is clear right now that OM has reversed. All right. We're starting to have a reversal that we have yet to see. Okay. So the reversal is here. We've found the floor. We've accumulated on the floor. The only thing left is for that explosive recovery move, with the first big move, I think, taking it to 30 cents. And then we should get a quick, like, sort of move up into 38, 37 cents, somewhere in that range, with another move coming after that to about 50 cents. Ultimately, I think we gain back. We're going to zoom out a little bit here. And now we're going to look at, like, where is your consolidation? What is your biggest fight if you are having to fight and pump the price on this? We're going to use a volume profile right here. Whoa, that's tough to, man, that's actually kind of, I'm going to move that off chain there a little bit so that that's not being calculated. And right there, 70 cents. 70 cents is probably where we should get a nice little move up into that range right there, right above 60, break above there, get into this sort of range right here and consolidate for another explosive move, which will take you up, and maybe you'll peg through, what is this, right under $1. You'll peg right under $1, and then boom, another move to $1.30, $1.40. Probably going to be fighting that same pattern on the way back up. But the important thing is that if you look at it from this context, right here. Now let's fix that shit. Then you can clearly see that we have reversed. Okay, about 14 days at the bottom. Probably when you look at a weekly candle, something like that, there's that big wick. Remember, I told you that we're looking for those big wicks. We're looking for the wicks that tell us we've hit that bottom and it's time for that Solana type bounce. Well, it looks like that's happening right now. So maybe, just maybe, we've got the again, not generational pump, but we're about to experience a nice win. And a day like this, a day from 31 cents all the way up to 60 cents. You know what I mean? Like a 2x today, 2x the day before, another 2x the day after, another 2x the day after. You know what I mean? Like, so here we are, and I think it's coming. All right. So again, I won't be there for the end of that. About $4. That's probably going to be my spot where I'm like, you know what, I'll take the, if it happens to go there, I will take the money. Hi, I'm from South Korea. How do you think Luna 2.0? Luna 2.0, so, to give you guys some full clarity here, between Luna and Terra Luna Classic and USTC, I am incredibly bullish on what is, in my opinion, about to happen next. In South Korea, the new president is pro-crypto. In the United States, the president is very pro-crypto. And Do Kwon has been under investigation. He's been under indictment. He's been in jail. He's been going through something. And guess what? I think that he's going to be pardoned. And when he is pardoned, then Terra Luna Classic, in my mind, is most likely headed to its all-time high very rapidly. Okay. I said that I think that there's going to be an impulse move taking us back up into that range. By the way, we talked about this on my live. I do a video every day about what's going on. And I think Luna Classic runs all the way up to its all-time high. USTC, most likely, I don't see it going to the all-time high. I'm not as bullish on that one, but I do see around 8 cents on USTC in a surge, not in a massive pump or anything like that. Just a surge, a break above this line right here, and then a retest about this range with a what I guess like this right here, then another impulse move up here, and then another impulse move probably failing around here because ultimately USTC still doesn't have any value, but there's a positive sentiment to it. So I think that's going to happen. And then on Luna, I think that Luna does not have an opportunity. Luna 2.0 doesn't currently have an opportunity to get up here. Anchor is building on it. So, perhaps at some point there would be, but for Luna, I would put my focus right now on that last pump that came out right after we thought, this is really going to work, right? When we felt that, oh my God, this could work. This is the relaunch right here. And it ended up running up to, and it'll retest this range right here, but it ran up to about $7.69. So I think that this is a great opportunity at, if you just consider right now, it's at 17 cents. The value will transfer back over. Again, because of pro-crypto legislation across the world, the value is going to transfer back over. And really, I think you're talking about a 300 to 400x from where we are right now or is it 40x? With 10x would be $1.70. So yeah, oh my God, 40x. So a 40 or 50x from where we are right now, just to get back to that previous local top, seems to me to be an easy move for the chain. Like, I really think that that is coming, and that we should see that. But again, in order for that to happen, we have to see Do Kwon get out of his little quandary. I mean, that really is what's going on. Like, we really need to see Do Kwon stop being prosecuted. And once we see that happen, then I think you're going to see a crazy, crazy move. And I am, by the way, hinging a lot on that. But I think that he will. I think in some way he's going to end up being pardoned. I really do. I think that Trump assuredly in the United States is trying to clear the slate with most people. And I think that what Do Kwon did was inappropriate. I do think that it was inappropriate, but he's not the guy that killed Terra Luna Classic or the Luna ecosystem. He was just the guy who tried to defend it because it was his baby. And I don't think that that's, manipulating people and lying to people. Yes, I mean, I agree that that's what he did, but I already think that he's already served enough time for that portion. I want to see where Kanav Korea is and where is Jump Crypto Trading, and why has Kanav Korea basically disappeared from Earth. Remember, we haven't heard from Kanav Korea of Jump Crypto Trading since June of 2024 when he resigned. He has gone absolutely silent. Now, when that happens, that's because something big they are trying to not be found for. So, and I'm telling you, I know what it is. What they are the ones that did that. Okay. They are the ones that shorted it. They're the ones that sold off on it. And by the way, that's on the blockchain and in the bankruptcy, the court records. Like, that's exactly what happened. Now, the fact that he brought them in, he should be responsible for that. So, I guess when I say this, I understand that not everything is as cut and dry as I want to make it, but something will happen here with Luna pretty soon, at least in my opinion. I really think that we're about to have an explosive sort of move. So anyway, if you haven't already, get yourself some CC coin. Again, I do think that that's one of the gems and the jewels in this. And I hope that we see a nice premium pump. By the way, Coinbase Wallet is what I normally use. And I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter. Whatever seed phrase you use doesn't really, whatever. But it shows up in my wallet now and had not been showing up in my wallet for a while. It's always one of those, zero value things that you see in your wallet. You're wondering, like, I wonder why the dollar amount doesn't show up. So now it's showing up in my wallet. So something has improved in reporting or something like that. And that's a great sign for the CCC ecosystem, because the more exposure you have, the more you expose yourself to larger groups of people, the more influence you have. The more influence you have, the more investors you have. The more investors you have, the more community you have. The more community you have, the more people there are to share your content. Boom, you've created the next SHIB or the Doge or whatever it is. Okay. Build your influence by letting people know what it is. Build your community so that they work and they raid and they do what's necessary to let more people know. And then guess what? It only takes a couple. By the way, really this, break this down simple. It only takes a couple of whale groups finding like CC Coin or one of these other ones to create a pump. That gives everybody the idea, like, oh my God, let's do this. Then everybody gets in, everything goes crazy. The next thing that you know, there's more and more and more and more and more investors that are in it, and you have a much higher floor. So when it comes back down, it will come back down. It has a higher floor to spring with for the next round when you find the next group of whales. I mean, that's the way that it works. You're trying to, you're catching minnows. I mean, when you're doing a meme coin, you are trying to attract whales to catch the minnows that come along with them. And then when the whales sell, the minnows are stuck in there and holding a higher floor. I know that might not be the greatest way to say that. And I don't mean to say that you guys are minnows if you're just following whales and stuff like that. But I mean, what else do you call it? I mean, it's an analogy. You know what I mean? So anyway, get yourself some CC coins. Could be really fun. Blocky. There's some stuff coming on Blocky over the next couple days. There's a 1 week pre-sale offer. Rangers, this is your moment for 1 week only. You can secure your Blocky NFTs at our exclusive pre-sale price. Price per NFT is 300,000 Blocky tokens. There's the official wallet address. So if you want to buy yourself a Blocky token, a blocky NFT. If there's one with the mohawk, haha, you know what I mean? If there's not, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be mad. You know what I mean? But there's gonna be a lot of different fun NFTs for you to check out. Also, there is, by the way, let me bring this up. I don't know if it's been official, so I don't want to speak out of turn. Okay, so yes, if you have a blocky NFT, you're going to get exclusive access to the VIP Telegram community. Remember, we've been talking about for now days and days and days, just weeks and weeks and weeks. How do we stop the Telegram community? How do we make sure that only the people that we want in there are in there? Only, so this is the way to do it. So we don't have to do like the bag checks for whales and stuff like that. Early access to Memecoin calls and crypto ICOs, elite investor network, connect, share, and grow, invitation to future gold events and global events and parties, potential price growth as demand for the NFT rises, airdrops from new projects exclusively for NFT holders. And with only 10,000 NFTs available, spots are going to be limited. Now, listen, you might say to yourself, there's not that many investors, so there's not going to be that much interest in the NFTs to be in. So you have some time. You will have some time to get it. But here's the other part. There's going to be a massive burn on Blocky. So you're going to see the price is going to pump, and your value that you're looking at right now is going to change. So right now you're looking at, I think, 4 zeros 39, 4 zeros 4, something like that. So if you burn a little bit of supply, it's going to reduce legitimately burn. Then it's going to reduce the circulating supply, raising the price of the market cap so that each token now has a little bit more value than it had before. And if that is the case, then you could be looking at it costing a lot more, just from that perspective alone. So if you haven't already, it is my opinion that you should at least check out some Blocky and make sure that you have a little bit for whatever might come next. I think this is a catalyst. This is not the huge catalyst that I think it is. I actually have a plan here. I'm talking to Roger. I sent a message to Roger about this, and maybe we'll talk about it pretty soon. But I have an idea that I think will help to make Blocky a much bigger kind of enticement, if you will, for people. So we'll see what happens. Now, as for the rest of everything, Moon is up 15% on the day. I still want to see, this is another Jeff project. So I get a feeling here that we'll probably see, a nice little, could be seeing 100x off of this, by the way. He keeps coming in here, keeps kind of looking at it, keeps kind of talking about it like he wants to run this back. So maybe we'll see something like that happen. Again, Blocky's up 12% on the day, but it's had a nice little dump. The question is, remember, there were some airdrops. So just kind of waiting out the airdrop, people. Meme Link is up 8% on the day. TARS AI is up 7.7% on the day. Remember, we talked about TARS AI yesterday, the biggest AI in the Solana ecosystem, and it's going to go massive right now to 50 million market cap, probably dreadfully undervalued at this point. Market cap, previous top market cap was 300. Look at that, 300 million. I say it's going to go back there. I'm pretty sure of it. TARS AI is one that I think that you should have in your portfolio. CC Cash, we've got API 3 kind of ranging right now in that 70-cent range, but it has reversed from those bottoms just like everything else. Devi is at 44 cents right now. Bud is at 12.77. O'Hare 87.88. Still holding on to O'Hare because it's only like $50 worth or something like that. Yeah, it's a small amount, so I'm just going to hold on to it, see what happens, if anything, since we're going into that altcoin. You never know which one of these cryptos is just going to explode. Now, I do think that when that happens, it'll be the ones that are being worked on every day, that'll be talked about every day, that are in the public eye every day, and that is CC Coin, and it's been able to hold up very, very well, even considering all of the bullish momentum we had. That downward sort of pressure that started to happen, which eventually happens to everything. Seems like we found kind of the bounce area, and then I would expect a big surge coming here pretty soon. And I think a lot of capital is going to start to enter when you consider things like myself, Tom Crown, some of the people, J-Chains, that are talking about CC Coin and the ecosystem. You're probably going to see a pretty nice move. So I'm here for it. Mantra, we already talked about. CCR rewards up 1%. BCB is trending about dead even for the day. Fias is down a little bit on the day. Why do I have two Bud 2s? Jesus Christ, please get your shit together. Oh, I know why. Because because this goddamn app hates me. That's why. This goddamn app hates me. Volt dumping some more. I mean, guys, I can't tell you that I can't tell you anymore. I told you so. Then I told you so. Puff 91.33. Now, by the way, I'm bullish on Volt. I do think that Volt is going to get a lot of attention. Okay, I do think that Volt's certainly got its place, but we're not at the bottom. Anybody who was telling you to buy at I think it was 6020 not that long ago, I said it was probably going to go below. Look where we are. You know what I mean? And by the way, again, nothing against the Volt. And by the way, everybody who's in Volt right now is already motivated. Like this, they're not growing their base despite the fact that there's a lot of people and there's a lot of people talking about it. It's not growing its base. So that new team that came in and took over for Voltoshi, like that, I think when they come out with some kind of catalyst, a different strategy, if you will, maybe we'll see something happen from there. Little Puff down to 91.33. Now, look, I know I told you at, 2015 that I think this is going to be a big move project. Well, I still do. Nothing has changed about it. It's just not moving right now. I think that it's going to make another run up here. It's done it a couple times here. It's real comfortable in that 5 or 6 million range. So I don't see it's going to be supported at least. And I don't see any reason why it doesn't go back to 5.5 million. So if you're holding on to some of your Puff, then just know it's probably got 6x in it coming up pretty soon. And I mean, I think it'll move very quickly. If it gets to that 6x, I mean, I would take your profit along the way, of course, and obviously. But also remember, there is a possibility that if it makes that and it gets back that positive momentum, that the next move is going to be into that 10 million range. So, that could double from there too. So, watch out for that one to happen as well. Weasel, yesterday, they released their website. They haven't updated anything here, but let's see, 23 hours ago, weasel.io. This is what their website looks like. So this was the first step. And look, this is not what pumps a chart or anything like that. So anybody who thinks that having a website pumps your chart, it does not. Having a website gives you a place to go for information about a project. So their mantra here: we train, we rise, we give, we grow, we push. Here's their roadmap, which is the deployment and foundation phase, digital presence phase, NFT battalion launch. So that's what they've got going on. Also, there is a full roadmap over here for you to check out. Not sure if there's a white paper or not. I asked them about partnering. They were like, no, not right now. So, I don't have much to say about it other than I'm a holder and I'm waiting for a pump, So it's a pretty clean layout. It's nothing special, but it's nice colored. It takes the Solana colors, it uses those pretty effectively. I'm not sure that hue over here is as Solana-y. But I mean, for the original website, I think this is going to be pretty clean as a layout. Also, if you want to know who they are, these are the members of the team, clear and on display. This is their military pictures and their civilian pictures. So everybody who's behind everything right there. You can see Roger as well was part of it, and Ayub Swazer, Michael Parker. So you got a nice little team. And they are looking for that next big move. They are looking for, and what are they doing, by the way? What they are doing is they're using Weasel and trying to create a project that will help to fund disabled veterans and give back to military veterans who have gone through something tragic because of what they've sacrificed for their country. And this is not just soldiers in the United States, but around the world. That is their mission. These are men of purpose. I would suggest that they probably at least have a pretty good way of creating value for holders in the short term. So I would suggest that they're probably going to have a significant run. Right now, sitting at about 100,000 market cap. I could see this going, again, nothing special, not giving you anything special, but I could see it going to a 10 million market cap and people just saying, you know what, that seems about right. And then if they can use that and capitalize that and use that to create more opportunity to help veterans, then that will be the most noble purpose and thing that they could have done. So shout out to them. I hope they do well. Volume continues to surge in Solana and Ethereum and Base and Arbitrum, but staying kind of the same on BSC. So that's why I think no matter what happens, BSC just seems to have a lot more volume right now. And it doesn't make any sense to me, because if you base it on activity, where's BNB? I mean, BNB not really breaking out. BNB's been, like I don't know. So none of this makes sense to me. So I don't have a lot of faith in what I'm seeing right now. I am having faith, however, in that we are not seeing any peak indicators. We are not at the top of any market according to all of the previous metrics that have always worked before. And even if you don't believe in all of these metrics, when you start to see dominoes fall, then you know something is changing, and we're seeing no dominoes. It is giving you legitimately a 100% just hold signal right now. So that is as bullish as it gets in these markets. Also, here are the flows for the ETFs. Okay. Yesterday in USDT or USD, we had $192 million in inflows. What? Oh my God. And by the way, that's Ethereum. Again, we had massive inflows in Ethereum. And you might be asking yourself, what about Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin had massive inflows in the amount of 400 million. Do you see what's happening? Everybody's still accumulating. Institutions every day, big businesses are every day. They're continuing to buy into these ETFs, and it's not slowing down, folks. It's getting more and more and more every day. Look at the inflows. Just step back and look at the absolute crazy sort of inflows. 53 billion overall, 49 billion in that's all time, or through July 2nd, 49 billion. But we're talking about in a year and a half. All right, this is a Bitcoin thing is a year and a half old by this point. Okay, in a year and a half, 49 billion. In the last month, 4 billion. So it is continuing and continuing and continuing on. All right, we are seeing massive inflows. When I said that, what I meant was in the week. Okay, in the week. I'm sorry. We've seen $4 billion in inflows this week, or 10 days, whatever it is. So, guys, we are ready for the next leg. We're ready for the next leg. All the signals are in place. Everything is happening. By the way, we've got a retest right here of Bitcoin going down. Remember, I told you there's a trend line right there saying that, that we might get a little bounce up there, and it might, Bitcoin dominance might be a little sticky. Bitcoin might just absolutely take off and go parabolic. So there could be a move back up here. So we might see Bitcoin start to rip and alts start to decline. It's going to be institutional money running this thing back up. And if that happens from where we are right now, then again, just like that gold scenario that I showed you, we're going to see just a crazy pump. All right. So when we look at this, we are ready to go. By the way, if you look at this from this range, it seems like there might be that opportunity to kind of cool off. But the last time we got into this range, let's go look over here. We got into this range right here of overbought, and that's when the huge rally started. Okay, so we haven't seen that, and we saw a green blow off over here too. And look what happened right after it hit that range. Boom, 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 went crazy. So we're at the spot right now where it could go boom, 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 crazy even more. And if it does, expect to see about 132,000 Bitcoin. And then from there, you're going to see a cascade of movement into altcoins, which are popping right now. Ethereum at 32.53. We just talked about it being at 32 at the start of the hour. It's still continuing to surge. XRP is about to hit $3. Already hit, it looks like. Let's see. Already hit $3.03. Solana, 167. Solana's got a long way to go, but it is on its way. We finally got, remember, what we're looking for this sort of curvature, and we're starting to see that movement towards that upside, and that's what we see happening right now. The test for this spot, and this is, again, we're seeing a lot of these that are doing the same retests, right? And what is the retest right now? That retest is going to be that 50 and 200 MA. So on the Solana weekly, it looks like we're about to break above the 50 MA. We break above the 50 MA. That means that we are in a super bullish rally. And here's the most important part. We're on a weekly right now. Look at this RSI. Okay, here we are about to take off. The RSI is mid-range. So that means that the strength on it is not massive. And if that's the case, then that means that we have a lot of room to go. The last time we got into the green zone like this, right here, boom, that's when it started. That's when the massive rally from, what was it, $24? Where were we ranging here? From about $24 up to $120 in the course of 3 months. Okay, so we're in a spot where it's getting ready to happen. Up $50 billion right now. Bitcoin about to test 119,000 one more time. OM starting its little reversal right now. All right, we got DevE going back to 45 cents. Scrolling down, we've got Pendle up 5%. Guys, I think you owe it to yourself to have some Pendle. Clicking in about a $600 million market cap right now. This is the lending protocol. Thus, I do think it'll be part of DevE before it's all said and done. But Pendle is where institutions are going to go for their borrowing and lending, especially in stable coins. Pendle is that bitch, if you will. All right. That's where the money will be. And Pendle is probably sorely undervalued at 6 billion. Most likely as a lender, it's in the 20 to 30 billion range in my estimation. So I would say that a nice 50x from Pendle is not out of the woods at a 600 million market cap. SHIB up 2% on the day. Pepe is up 4% on the day. Arrow is at 10% right now. Everything is starting to cook. Bonk is up 15%. So we know that meme coins, are on the move. Floki, 10%. Meme coins on the move. And I guess, you can't even call Floki a meme coin at this point. You can say that it grew there, it joined there, but it really is kind of breaking out right now. Link up 4.5%. Big caps, that's what we're looking for, right? We want big caps to start getting big gains. Well, Ethereum, big cap, big gain. XRP, big cap, big gain. Ondo, Solana, big cap, big gain. And BNB, big cap, big gain, just going over 700. Now, what does that mean? That means that altcoin rotation is happening and your pairings are starting to pump. And when that happens, then the value of all of our meme coins starts to go up, unless there's something wrong with, the messaging in the project. Okay. So you might see, you might be ready for a massive Solana move at any point, and that will drag a bunch of meme coins with it. So get ready to be surprised by some very small cap meme coins as that Solana pairing value starts to elevate and the amount of their token starts to elevate commensurate with that. And people who are beating that curve, those are the ones that you want to have your money in. So what you don't want is Solana to go up, 10% in a day, which means that your meme coin should be at least 5% higher. And you want to see your meme coin dip. You want to see somebody who's looking at that saying, oh my God, Solana's pumping. And then, oh my God, my meme coin is pumping. Those are the ones that are going to make a bunch of money. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for right now, is I'm looking to see, what's going to happen at that point right now. And again, we're seeing that capital rotation right now, $50 billion coming into the market, but most of it going into DeFi and altcoins right now. Again, Bitcoin at 0.89 on the day, Ethereum at 3.5%, XRP at 2%, Solana at 2%. The major altcoins are starting to move. So I think we're in a great space. I think we're in a great spot, and I think it's only a matter of time right now. Again, we could have a dip. I'm not saying that, we're not going to up only. That's not the way the market works. It's not up only. There are peaks and valleys. As a matter of fact, we're looking at one of those little peaks and valley things along the way right there. So, it's a patience game. Hope you have the patience to make it, because we are so close to an absolute banger of a breakout. Also, if you are Terra Luna Classic tomorrow, go ahead and sign up at terracasino.io today. Right there, links in the description down below. Make sure that you sign up. When you do, make sure that you have your username ready. Tomorrow's video, we're going to give away some money at terracasino.io. So if you are interested in that, then now is your moment. And in closing, one more thing that I want to say, validators, we're having people unstaking from validators. at an extreme level right now on Terra Luna Classic. And what does that mean to me? Well, to me, it means two things. Number one, there's been a shift in momentum from certain validators to other validators. And number two, that somebody is predicting a huge price movement and they want some on the side so that they can sell. So that's a great sign to me that Terra Luna Classic is about to have a big move. Now, will it be 40x or 50x? I don't think so. I think a 3x right now would be a fantastic move. And I know that you're probably going to be disagreeing with me and saying, well, no, we need way more than that. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is a nice little 3x right now would give some validation to people that, hey, Terra Luna Classic is finally making the move that I've been waiting for. This is what I've been waiting to see. And you're going to start to see a lot of people getting it. So that's all. That's the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, later on today, we've got at 1 p.m., we've got the Terra Luna Classic video. And at 4:30 p.m., we've got probably our final Ben video, because I don't know how much more I can say on the topic unless something comes up. But watch that one. If you like it, make sure you hit the like button on everything that I do. Make sure you leave a comment on everything that I do. It helps and supports me so much. And the easiest way to support me is to become a member of the channel, where when I have private calls, which I got one coming, by the way, when I have private calls, it's going to go into that private chat first. And that's where you're going to make the big money. It's not financial advice, but I'm always